Mm. Oh my gosh. Woo! Ta-da! Auntie hooked this up, bro. Mm. Gotta go. Gotta go back. Gotta go hit the hot yoga now. We're going down. That's that fire right there. Came too late for the show, eating that. Woo! Oh! Auntie! Boy, oh boy. You got voicemail. Hold up, man. Woo! Yes, that's the one. My goodness, my gracious. Good morning to the good peoples out here. Glad to see your faces. It is Throwback Thursday on You Got Voicemail. Voice Sports definitely in the building. The Evian Dawn, the Weezy F Veezy. So breezy, bringing it to you smooth and easy. Man, so much stuff taking place. We just came out of the 302 Mid-Atlantic Showcase. My man Isaiah Fleming, the video still pouring out. Shouts out to my man, my mellow, awesome Alan Thomas. Hey, of course, Just Score Mag doing some crazy stuff out there. My man Josh Stednis and them. Great to see him, man. We're going to talk about some things as we start to move through this summer season, because we got a lot of people out here that got that whole, I'm chilling, I'm not going to do nothing today, lay back, that's what you do, that's your choice, bruh. Yo, we're going to try and educate you on what's going to get you right and head you towards the next level a little better. As we get ready to head to Canton this weekend, we're going to check out some of the great student athletes working out at the camp and doing their thing on the various levels. Then on top of that, we roll right into Kansas City, Missouri. Oh, the voice on the move, baby. Did Summer Tour 2019. Can't get mad at it. Just enjoy it. Take the ride. We still dropping pictures from the Showtime Elite Showcase and the 302 Mid-Atlantic Showcase in Voice Sports right now. Go to the Voice Sports page. It's popping. It's on like that. Get out there, see more. Some of the greatest student athletes doing some incredible stuff. Love the parents. Love the family and the support system. We're going to talk a little bit candidly today. As always, you got the opportunity to call in, join in, and of course on Throwback Thursday, speak your mind so refined. But before we get down to business, let's take care of some business. As always, hey look, one of the longest standing supporters of Voice Sports from day one. I gotta give credit where credit is due, and that's why I rock with him to the very end. Nobody works harder than my man Ferron Carter. Shouts out to him at Dynamic Specialized Performance. DSP has been with Voice Sports for almost 2 years now on the sponsorship side, but been with me since day one and always helping me understand what's going on with the student athletes, the development of their bodies. Hey, K Slay, what's up, man? Word of the day with my man K Slay. Hey, gotta get that from you, man. Coach, hey, my man, I ain't mean to wake you up like that, bro. I ain't mean to wake you up like that, bro. Hey, sometimes you gotta shake a tail feather to get the day going, all cylinders rolling together, you dig? Yo, shouts out to Dynamic Specialized Performance anywhere in the country, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching, go to the website, dynamicsp.net. Find out more on how to get your core speed, understanding your body better so you can perform better. Whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whether it's baseball, rugby, lacrosse, whatever your sport is, Dynamic Specialized Performance is there to meet, greet, and help you get better. If you're in the local area, give them a call at 443-306-7016. And of course, if you're trying to move around, maybe you want to head down to Naples for the FBU. Maybe you want to head down to Florida for battle. Maybe you want to head up to Canton, Ohio and participate in the World Youth Championships. Bam! You know how you get there? You see that word across the bottom? Like a champion. You know how you get there like a champion? Champion Drive Transportation. Give them a call today at 301-237-8361 or go to the website championdrivetransportation.com. Find out more. Yo, I wouldn't tell you about it if it was not official to the bone gristle. Man, there's so many great people peeping in and out today, man. You know how it is. Everybody at work, you're getting that vibe. Summertime is here. You sit at your desk, you're looking out the window like, yo, it look nice outside than it do in here. Maybe I should just shoot the show from outside. Maybe I will. Let's have some things happen. Do something different today. Get up off your seat, man. Do something different today. Let me tell you right now, after I finish blessing this here, oh my goodness, my gracious. Oh my goodness, my gracious. Look at that thing. Look at that thing, boy. That thing, look. If this video was scratch and sniff, if it was scratch and sniff, you still be scratching right now. You'd be like this. Ah, Beasley! Give me some. No. No. Some of y'all can't have it. I dig it. I'm going to go pay for it now. I'm going to go walking like a bug. Hey, look. One of the things that surprised me as I started to go through my inbox this morning as I get down to the Voice Sports Minutes. Wow, some of the messages. And yesterday I had so many that I want to be able to take the time and address a couple of topics today. Feel free to chime in, comment, and we'll interact and dialogue on it, because I think as we start to grow and move forward, we want to continue to get better and utilize our resources. Once again, if you would like to call in, the number is 301-806-6677, or as always, just hit the join button in the option and I'll give it to you and you can join me like that as well. But ironically, one of the posts I saw in one of the chat groups that really disturbed me was one that said, I had a parent take his 6-year-old son from off of the team to another youth league team because the coach will better prepare him for the NFL. Again, the statement was, I had a parent take his 6-year-old son to another youth league team because that coach will better prepare him for the NFL. I read this, and first thing that stood out to me was we're talking about a 6-year-old. And on top of that, better prepare him for the NFL? What are we thinking today, parents? Where your mindset at? All right, and I say that because we all have high aspirations. It's okay to dream, but I'll be quite honest with you. Going to the NFL is like way, way, way down the road when we talking about a 6-year-old. We're talking about a 6-year-old. Okay, let's understand that. We're talking about youth sports. At 6 years old, what could a coach say to you that would lead you to say, I'm gonna pull him off of your team because he will better prepare him for the NFL than you? I understand that there's Madden coaches, and I understand there's Tech Bowl coaches. I understand that there's rec league. I understand that there's elite level. I understand that there's some coaches out here that, hey, they have a zeal for the game and not an understanding. I dig it. This pool was made like the ocean for everybody to be able to swim and be able to function. I would love to know what was said that would have you convinced that a 6-year-old has the upside to go from here to the NFL, and you still got almost 14 years of high school in front of you. All right? Let's get down to business, ladies and gentlemen. The brass tacks is this. If your student athlete participates in sports, making them a student athlete, first of all, the first thing you need to focus on is the fact that they're a student first, athlete second. Got it. Got it? Got it. Great grades? Got it. Got it. Got it. Check. Okay? Good. Now, let's understand this. By participating in youth sports, your highest aspiration shouldn't be the NFL. Highest aspiration should really be to get a free college education behind their athletic ability. That way they got a degree. Wherever they go after that is all cool beans. Let's stop living in these fantasy worlds because it leads you down the wrong road. people scream this, let's trust the process, let's trust the process. And the process is just like meeting a girl in the mall or meeting a guy in the mall. You don't know them from Adam, so how are you supposed to just walk up trusting them? Last I heard, trust was earned. You know what I'm saying? You don't just walk around trusting everything because then you're led astray. Let's get down to business. If somebody was to come to you and say, I can prepare your son for the NFL, and we're talking about a 6-year-old, I would not stop laughing. I really would not stop laughing. Because to be honest with you, that's not the goal. If it happens, great. You got a better chance in the Powerball between now and then in the next 14 years. You keep playing the same number. Let's talk honestly about it. And when you start to talk about these things, let's change this dialogue from parent to parent, parent to coach, parent to this, that, and the other. Let's sit down and actually talk to the kids. I find a great disconnect sometimes when I talk to a lot of student athletes that I see excelling on the field, that I take the time and really get a chance to meet. A lot of times I get to the hotels early, and I move around the building. I could very easily sit in my room and watch TV or play on Facebook or be moving around some business or maybe even taking business calls. But when I'm at an event, I like to meet the student athletes. I like to meet the parents. I like to talk to folks. I'm really not social like that at breakfast, but more times than not, I want to sit down and have a conversation. And something that I found was very unique is that a lot of the kids who really see success, a lot of the kids that really see success have outstanding relationships with their parents. So for many of you who may be at work, maybe you got 2 jobs, you don't have a whole lot of time. Uh-oh. Look. And they calling me. Let's see who this is. Good morning, you got voicemail.
The Department of Education now has new options to guarantee the reduction of the student.
Man, I ain't messing with y'all. Yo. Let's take the opportunity, number the devil. Let's take the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to really try and open up the communication lines. Because like I said, many of the successful student athletes have outstanding relationships with their parents. The parents know exactly what they're trying to do, whether it's the mom or whether it's the dad or whether it's the mom and the dad. Sitting down and having conversations with your son or your daughter is a great way to get a bearing and a feed on what they're doing, where they're going, and they can clearly understand your aspirations for them, as well as them being able to clarify with you their willingness or unwillingness to go where you're trying to go. If you're on the same page, you can get a lot more done versus the conflict. Now, the funny part is there is a difference when you start to talk to your kid. It's a difference between talking to your kid and talking at your kid. I'm not going to get into it real deep, but it's clearly a difference. It's a difference when you say, okay, this is what we're going to do. You have no say so. Shut up. Get in the car. Let's go. Some people don't use shut up. Some say be quiet a lot. And then there's talk at them. It's almost the same scenario, except when you talk at your child, there is no chance for a response. There's no chance for a rebuttal. There is no chance for a but I or can I or ma can or dad can, because you're talking at them. You got practice tomorrow. You got this. You got that. You got this. You got that. While talking to them is a little more demanding. Both of them are problems because there is no chance for feedback. Feedback is why you see the variances in performance levels, because they may not necessarily want to do what you want them to do. You may have gotten them into a tournament or got them into this situation, but if they're not trying to go there, you're not going to see the full effort you want. You're going to be sitting up in the bleachers like, why is he still on the sideline? Why is it? You can't blame the coach if he's not receptive. You have to have those conversations. And a lot of times what I continue to see, and I'm sharing it with you because maybe it's you, maybe it's not you. There's also a line. You got some parents that go, they have such great conversations with their kids that it's almost a buddy system. Hey, I'm the dad. That's your mom. This is what's happening. Talk to me. What you want to do, what you trying to do. Let's work this out. Let's mediate this. Let's see if we all can come out to the same result. Success. Success. I want you to see success. I want you to be comfortable. Definitely got to be comfortable. Want to see success. You have to put these things in the proper perspective. You cannot assume that your kid understands what you want for them. You cannot assume that you know what they want. You cannot assume that. When they start to get to these ages, I think while everybody's worried about how old they should be before they step on the field, you should be able to understand how old they are or have a greater understanding for where they are mentally before you even have these conversations. You can look at him and say, man, he tall, he should play basketball. Oh man, he big. Genetics is going to decide that. I'm a big guy. Any kid I got should, in some way, shape, or form, if it don't mimic my size, have them genetics that will go, I can get him right. He can be better than what I was. I can dig that. But you have to find out if that's what they even want to do. All right? Mindful of talking down instead of talking up. Sometimes you gotta be mindful of talking up to your kids. Talk them up. I got a buddy of mine. Man, he talk up his son so much, man. You be like, dude, I knew you was gonna say that. He can do this. My son can cut grass, fry chicken, and run touchdowns back. He can do push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, and still take out the trash. You talk him up. I mean, sometimes it's just overburn. But it's way better than talking down on him. Man, he can't do that. Man, I don't think he can do it. I wouldn't want him to do it. He shouldn't do it. You know what? That's negativity. You teach them to quit. You teach them to have a derogatory outlook on their direction. You teach them that type of stuff by your dialogue. So again, it goes back to that initial statement that we talked about earlier in the week, and that is, you are your kid's first role model. You're their first role model. So if you got erratic decision making, you got erratic talk. If you fluctuate from clean language to profanity, or you got selected people you use profanity around, what makes you think they all gonna do the same? Your dialogue with your kid is almost as important as what they going back and forth, because that's what they take with them out into the world. That's what they share with their friends, their teammates. That's what they share with their coaches. And whether you know it or not, if I spend enough time with your kid, I can tell you exactly what's going on in your household. Because kids gonna tell it. Kids know a genuine person when they see it. Kids know a fraud when they see it. It's transparent. They have very, I don't know what it is about children. They can sniff a fraud a mile away. And if you're genuine, they're going to genuinely be genuine to you. So let's take the time and opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to really sit down. And while you got this off-season time, but since some of y'all clarify that, y'all define it as that, oh, it's not spring football, it's not fall, maybe they playing basketball or they doing this, that, and the other, but you got way more time to spend with each other. Talk. That's the purpose of the day. That's the throwback of today. Talk. Constructively, not destructively. Talk. Parents, role in your kid's success. Understanding the role of yourself as a parent in your kid's success is key. Because first of all, you're not their agent. I had some parents walk up to me, yeah, man, you know, my son is that. My son done been in this event. He done been over here. He done been to Diamond. He done been to Showtime. He done been to this. He done been over there to Mason-Dixon. He done the FU. Okay, and what's his grades look like? I got to get back to you. You can tell me all this other stuff about his. Come on, man. You're not the agent. I've had people walk up to me and say, oh, my son is the best. Okay, put him on the field. And in 4 quarters, I'm like, okay, I've seen some flashes of stuff. And in the course of a whole season, I start to see why you're excited. There's some things you definitely need to work on. And I've really tried not to be critical about anybody because they're kids. There's a lot of great things you're doing. Work on this. But regardless of what you work on, keep them grades up. Kids are receptive. They can see it. Also, understanding the parents' role in your kid's success is having the most accessories doesn't make you a star. It makes the apparel companies rich. This is the heck of a drink my daughter made. She put grapes in it. I'm crazy. Having the most accessories don't make you a star. We go to a lot of these events and showcases, camps and combines, and you see kids with the slip-on spats on their cleats, and they got 3 and 4 different colored gloves, and the visor with the name on it, and the mouthpiece, they got their nickname in it, and the towel hanging out the back. They got all these accessories, and can't tell you the difference between a slant and a go. You want to accessorize your student athlete, accessorize them in knowledge. You want to start looking at they're great now. Let's start working on nuances. You got great dudes out here like my man Quentin Brown, Wing Builders, but now I think he's in one community, as well as QB Labs. You got guys out here like Coach Panka with Pick Six Academy. You got lineman coaches like my man Sudan Ellington, and of course my man Cal Montgomery Sr., Big Will Weathers. You want to accessorize your kid, accessorize them with the skills that make them stand out above the rest. Having on high yellow gloves may catch the attention of somebody with a camera, but if you got high yellow gloves and can't catch, it's an eyesore. So accessorize them with skills, not accessories. The importance of relationships are vital. So if the relationship between you and your student athlete is important, imagine the relationship values that you need to have with the coaching staff. Maybe there's things you're talking to the coach about maybe your son is he was a D tackle last year, had success at it. Maybe now he's a little slower, doesn't have the engine to keep pushing the power. So let's move him to the offensive side, maybe a guard or a tackle because of his height development. You need to be able to have them conversations with the coaches before you get to the field and you find yourself going, why is he over there? He can't score from that position. It's not about him scoring. Those are your aspirations. You need to find out what's best for him. And that's where your relationship with the coach is important, because the coach will tell you, well, where he is right now, I see him better at this. Or maybe he played basketball in the off season. His endurance is high and his hand-eye coordination is great. Maybe they shift him to tight end. There are conversations that you can have with the coaching staff that'll help you see these things afar and beyond that. Stop getting to these events and Showtime joints and Diamond and all these other places and get all mad. My son only got X amount of steps. Well, in the process of the coaches trying to assess what best position to put them in, you might have a kid that's in limbo because he's never really learned a definitive position. There's a lot of that going on nowadays, and people treat it like the elephant in the room. It's not on the coach. It's not on your kid. It's a combination of everything. So wherever your home-based team is, you have to be able to get clarity on what's going on in the development and the growth of your student athlete, which is your son or daughter, depending on what sport it is. Same thing with volleyball. My daughter may be a striker, but then get her out there. I'm thinking because she's big, she should be up by the net. I find out she can serve. You have to look at things for what they are, and that's where the relationships are vital. Both with your coaches will help get that clarity. Another person to have a great relationship with is the team mom. Because if for some reason you are not there, the team mom is the person that steps in to help deal with whatever emotional issues, whatever technical issues, whatever physical issues your son or your daughter may be going through. So if your son or daughter has asthma, it's more imperative that the team mom know and have his or her asthma pump. You dig where I'm coming from? The coach should be knowledgeable, but the team mom should know she's there. That's what she's there for, because you can't be on the field if he has an attack. These relationships are vital, and I find that we oftentimes, before we get ready to go into the fall season, we have to have these conversations because people don't see how to fully utilize the things that are around them. They walk into the venue, they have a seat in the bleachers, and they just look at things. And they don't understand the significance of it. You see their titles, but you don't utilize them to your advantage or your full capacity for the betterment of your son or your daughter at that event and for what you need done. Teen moms are an incredible relationship to have. You got some teen moms, hey, look, man, there's vital information. My son maybe had a stinger. His knee might be bad. He might have went through something in the process of the off season or during the week. You need to let the teen mom know, because if the teen mom see it, she can bring it to the coach's attention. Hey, look, he dislocated his finger, or he did that and the other during the course of the week. His mom told me, his dad told me, so let's be mindful of it. And when it happened, the teen mom is right there, she's hip. Establishing those relationships are key. Also, learning and understanding who his friends are, his or her friends are, their teammates. Developing relationships with their teammates, because if they're not with you, that's who they're with. If their teammates got great habits, you can relax. If their teammates got bad habits, you got a chance to talk to their parents and maybe mix and match and see what's going on. I've seen it be great, and I've seen it be ugly. Make sure you take the time, ladies and gentlemen, to utilize these resources and the overall experience, which starts from 1, talking to your kid, 2, developing relationships, understanding your role as a parent, the relationship with the coaches, the team mom, their teammates. Now, when they start to move it towards school, developing a relationship with their teachers can be incredible. It can be impactful, because instead of them sending you a note 2-3 weeks down the line, maybe they can send you a text message. School Max is an incredible feature that the school systems have added around various areas, and I'm pretty sure it's around the country by now, where you can digitally see what's going on in your kids' classes every day. You see their teachers' comments every day. If the teacher doesn't put comments down every day, you have a means to contact them right there every day by email. If they don't answer you, then you go to it. There is a huge difference. I know a lot of y'all may or may not agree, but I will say this. There is a huge difference between the way a teacher treats a parent that they see as active in their student's life and the way they treat a kid who doesn't have an active parent in their life. And I'm not saying, and I know it's a lot of teachers that say we treat all of them the same, but if you know their mom's subject to pop up, you take a little special interest in making sure they do what they're supposed to do and be what they're supposed to be. You have to be involved. You have to be involved. If you want to see success, there's a lot of things that be involved. Now also, when you talk about being effectively with the teachers, they're counselors. The counselors play a huge role, not just when they're getting ready to get suspended and they call you and tell you that they're sitting in their office. You need to know who they are, what they do, what services they provide for your son or your daughter, so you can maximize that as well. Again, as a parent, you're not their agent, you're a parent. So the more equipped you are, you have an opportunity to do so. Again, we always emphasize, do your due diligence, be effective, be impactful, be there. Grade level administrators. In some schools, that's what they call them. Some places they call them principals. You got sub-principals, assistant principals, whatever the case may be. Understanding what roles they play. How active are they with the kids? Are they just one of those guys just worry about the building? Or are they the type of person that's really involved with the kids and see your son walking around the hall and say, hey, come on, man, you got class. You have to know these things. You want to see these things. Those are the things that give you peace of mind walking away. Because these people, in essence, are your support systems. And support systems are incredible. Not only from the family structure. You may have coworkers. You spend so much time with them at work, they come by the house. It's like a second. They like a second family. You may have people that you go to the same church for X amount of years. You develop relationships with people where they have that ability to impact your son or your daughter. These support systems all help cultivate your student athlete in their growth, not only in life, but in sports, but in what they do as a whole. We got to understand that. And then when you start to look at what's going on, you have to ask the question, do you think they need a trainer? Are they eating right? Are you feeding them right? Are they getting their goals? Are they constantly going back and forth trying to make weight? You constantly sweating them. You constantly hitting them off with the water. You constantly trying to run them. What if you playing weighted ball? Hey, I done seen some crazy stuff. I done seen some cats get in trouble trying to help them, trying to make sure their son make weight because somebody else saw it as abuse. And you never put your hands on him. You just like, look, he's trying to make weight for the game tomorrow. Do you need a trainer? Do you think he need to go and work with someone who will show him how to get better because you can't? Those realities are very, very serious. A nutritionist maybe. You got a lot of high schools now got nutritionists. They walk in, hey, we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you show you how to eat better. A position coach. We were talking about that a little earlier. Maybe you need a position coach to get him to the next level. Some kids take a little longer to get it. If I sat here and said, "What your son is a tight end, your son is a wide receiver," all right. Well, what routes do he have locked in on his routing tree? He'd be like, "What? What is a routing tree? We ain't planting nothing." A route tree. What is in his repertoire of routes that he can run and run efficiently and effectively? No matter what system you go into, no matter what they call it, you should know what a fly or a dig, a slant, comeback, what those are. 10 and out, 10 and 5 and out. What? That understanding helps them prepare themselves for the next level. Sometimes it's the biggest difference between rec league ball and elite level ball. We'll have that conversation at another date. Also, in the process, do you still think they need a mentor on top of what they already get from their coaches, their teachers, the time you spend? These things are vital as you start to move forward. And what we want to do is try and equip you, the parent, as you move forward throughout the course of this off season. While the term is off season, every day means something when you're talking about investing in your student athlete. All right. So since we again, you got the opportunity to call in. You have the opportunity to join, speak your piece, whether you agree, you disagree, that's fine. Knock yourself out. We letting the world know it. We're going to have a great time. You got voicemail brought to you by our proud sponsors, Champion Drive Transportation, as well as Dynamic Specialized Performance, the law offices of Sandra M. Douglas, A2K Apparel on the West Coast, and Showtime Athletics on the East. Yo, you have had the opportunity to sit down and talk with one of the best in the business. Yo, this is Throwback Thursday. We're going to continue to do some great things. We want you to be educated. We want you to be prepared. We want you to move forward with strength. We want you to move forward with quality. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. All I ask you to do is have that conversation. Have that conversation. Have that conversation. Yo, it's your boy, the Arion Don, Weezy at Veezy. I can sit here and give you verbatim and run through a whole bunch of jokes and all that other stuff, but right now, this is that serious time. It's that serious time. All right? We're going to head up to Canton this weekend. Check out what's going on at the camps. And see some great student athletes put on a quality show and let the world see what they can do in front of some of the best gold jackets and NFL players that ever played the game. It's going to be dope. Also, if you want to try some of this cake, ta-da! Yes, hit my Aunt Shalita up, boy. That thing's fire right there, boy. I'm going to cut up in the middle of this. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot more about the C2C Showcase. Kansas City, Missouri is on the clock. Voice Sports will be touching down next week. In a town near you. Dear Summer 2019 tour is on the move. Hey, we out here. You be good to yourself. positive. Like, love, and share it everywhere. Gee, 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 gone.